After so many dangers, so many challenges, and so much chaos, it seems Shinpei and Akane are finally coming together as a real family. Once upon a time, she did not trust him at all. But today, Shinpei is someone she treasures beyond measure. Everything seemed to be going just fine when the beautiful and gentle Nanako appears out of nowhere in the lives of the Amamiyas. And it does not take long before she stirs something in the heart of young Shinpei. But it seems she is stirring something in Akane too, in a way the little sister herself cannot quite understand. It took Akane so many long years to finally find her family. So will she now lose it all in the blink of an eye? After all, Shinpei is her only brother, and he is interested in Nanako. We start our day at the baseball field. A game is happening right now, the crack of the bat, the dust, the whole thing. But one of the players is not exactly dressed for the occasion. In fact, she is wearing the uniform of Seiwa. Wrong sport, wrong outfit, wrong everywhere. The players actually stop to wonder what she is even doing out there, but nothing could be done. She wanted to play, and since she is the protagonist of the story, since her name is literally in the title of the manga, the guys had no choice but to let her in. But can Akane actually play? Here comes the test. A ball pops up, drifting right toward her. The NPCs call it out, pointing, shouting. Easy catch, right? Wrong. Akane puts on a performance that can only be described as embarrassing. The NPCs are furious at the low-budget show unfolding in front of them. She cannot reach the ball. It sails past her and disappears into the bushes. So now, with no other option, our little sister has to go dig through the weeds to fish that ball back out. But something stops her cold. Her heart skips a beat, because sitting there in the brush is a puppy, a tiny baby puppy. And just like that, Akane melts. There is no resistance. That dog is too cute and she knows it. The puppy launches a full assault of vigorous licks. Akane begs it to stop, but her face is saying the exact opposite. While the two of them are busy getting acquainted, another girl is approaching, calling out a name, Chaco. And it seems she found what she was looking for, because the suspense on her face melts into relief. The puppy answers to the name Chaco. Akane is caught completely off guard by this plot twist, and meanwhile, back on the field, the baseball players are getting nervous because she still has not brought the ball back. The mystery girl scoops Chaco into her arms and delivers a scolding in the gentlest way humanly possible, complaining about the little dog vanishing like that. Then she turns to Akane and she smiles. Akane goes a little red as she clocks the obvious. This girl is gorgeous. Her name is Nanako. The two girls sit down to talk while they take in the local public park. The topic, of course, is the puppy who brought them together in the first place. Nanako explains the backstory. Chaco belonged to the owner of a nearby laundromat, but the business went under, and the puppy was left behind, abandoned. She says she wants to adopt Chaco herself, but her family would never allow it. So she floats an idea. What if Akane took her? But Akane admits she is poor, and raising a puppy in her cramped apartment would be tough. Nanako understands the situation. Still, you can see it. She is a little heartbroken. But while the girls are sitting there wondering what to do, Chaco makes her move and creeps up to Akane, and gently nuzzles her arm. That was it. That single move shattered every last bit of caution our little sister had left. Akane springs to her feet, fired up, ready to head home and calling Chaco along, who happily comes bounding after her. She tells Nanako that she will ask Shinpei to let them adopt the puppy, and Akane could not be more confident that this is all going to work out. Chaco could not be happier. New life, new home, new everything. After all, Chaco now had a new owner, and that owner was Akane. But the other supposed new owner of the puppy refuses the responsibility. Akane demands to know why on earth they cannot adopt Chaco. Shinpei keeps it short. Not allowed in this apartment. End of story. Seeing that he is playing hardball, Akane unleashes her little sister powers. If Chaco cannot live here, then maybe at Shinpei's workplace. But Shinpei proves surprisingly immune to the little sister charm offensive, and he shuts the whole thing down. They are poor, and they are not taking in a stray off the streets. Akane is offended. She considered Chaco a friend. Shinpei closes the argument with the final verdict. Chaco does not live here. Akane is incredibly displeased. Are we about to witness a brand new crisis between these two? As punishment for daring to defy his sister, Shinpei gets stuck with the job of personally returning Chaco to Nanako, and Chaco, for her part, punishes Shinpei right back for the cruel rejection. Shinpei arrives at the address and stops in his tracks. This is no ordinary house. This is a mansion. We cut to a violin being played masterfully, but the beautiful music gets interrupted when the maid announces that someone named Amamiya is at the gate, wanting to talk about a dog. And the one playing that violin was none other than Nanako herself. She was in the middle of a lesson at that exact moment, but she decides to take a break to go meet Shinpei, and asks her private tutor to pause the session. The teacher is not happy about it. He points out that the competition is right around the corner, and he disapproves of her attitude, but there was nothing he could do. she was already gone. And so, Shinpei and Nanako have their first real meeting. Lights sparkle behind the girl as she introduces herself as Mizumori Nanako. Those lights were not actually real, of course. That was just the magical way Shinpei was perceiving her. He had already been completely hooked by this girl's beauty. Introductions done, Nanako asks what Shinpei wanted, but he was still recovering from the devastating impact of that encounter. So Nanako uses Shinpei's visit as her excuse to escape the lesson, and the two head down to the river to talk. Nanako seems genuinely interested in getting to know Shinpei a little better. He, however, is not exactly rising to the occasion. She pauses to size up the situation, and Shinpei starts to feel the pressure mounting. This girl is sincere and direct. She lays out exactly what is bothering her. She has noticed that Shinpei barely talks, and Shinpei does not hide the ball either. He tells her honestly that women usually do not give him the time of day, so he rarely talks to them, and he never knows what to say when he has to. Nanako looks at him with this tenderness, touched by how openly he can lay his weakness out in the open. No tricks, no disguise, everything on the table. So she tries a topic where he might feel more at home: Akane. She mentions that Akane absolutely adores her brother, which catches Shinpei completely by surprise. Nanako says it should not be a surprise at all. She explains that any woman would be happy to have someone who works that hard to protect her. She adds that she was actually curious to meet Akane's brother, given how much the girl looked up to him, even if he turned out a bit shyer than she expected. Shinpei suddenly transforms into a rhinoceros out of nowhere. Maybe some kind of pun on the word for shy. Drop a comment below if you got the joke, because I am still working on it. Feeling more comfortable now, Shinpei starts asking questions of his own, because he genuinely wants to know her. So he asks about her violin lessons. She explains she has been taking private lessons because of the upcoming competition, but she was worn out and used his visit as an excuse to relax. Shinpei suddenly feels like an accomplice in a crime and asks if it was really okay to be doing this. She says yes, with this mischievous little tongue out, the look of a girl up to no good. The lessons were just so boring. That naughty little troublemaker smile scored a whole lot of points in the young man's heart. Finally, they get to the actual reason for the visit: Chaco. Nanako says she is happy the puppy found a new home and that she would visit whenever she could. The truth is, Shinpei never actually said he came to return the puppy. And looking at his face, I do not think he wants to bring that up anymore. His head is somewhere else entirely right now. We head back to the Amamiya household where Akane gets the news. They would be keeping Chaco from now on. At first, Akane does not understand the sudden change of heart from her brother, but a single image is worth 1,000 words. Akane starts getting annoyed listening to her brother mutter, she loves me not," while plucking petals off a flower. Determined to snap him out of it, she rips off the petals herself, narrating along. "I hate it. I despise it. I despise it a lot." Shinpei panics at the dark omen his sister just conjured up. Then Akane corners him. "So you must have met Nanako, Shinpei." He plays dumb. Slyly, she mentions that she found Nanako very pretty, and asks if her brother did not think the same. Shinpei does not deny it. On the contrary, he goes red as he agrees. Akane is not pleased. Maybe she was hoping her brother would dodge the question. And an unhappy Akane is a problem. She takes out her frustration on Shinpei's face, stretching his cheeks as far as humanly possible. Shinpei fires back, telling her she should take some inspiration from Nanako. Maybe then she would be more attractive. But he should have known by now. Akane never backs down from a challenge. She declares that she is plenty attractive, thank you. Shinpei keeps poking, saying she is just fooling herself. Akane counters again, insisting the reality is that boys are constantly checking her out. Shinpei counters back, saying that these days anyone flirts with anyone, so that proves absolutely nothing. Shinpei seemed to be in full control of the argument, and Akane could feel herself losing. So she pulls out the physical stats, mentioning that her assets include an 83-centimeter bust. Her brother still was not taking the debate seriously. Finally, Akane reaches for her last weapon. She tells Shinpei to feel them for himself. Not the most dignified tactic for a young lady, but apparently the ends justify the means. Shinpei had completely lost control of the situation, and now found himself entirely at his sister's mercy. So Shinpei concedes defeat, and takes back everything he said about Akane not being as attractive as Nanako. Akane celebrates her victory, but she wanted to make her brother suffer just a little bit longer. It was a long day, but it ends peacefully, with the Amamiya family now one member bigger. The lovely Chaco. Akane goes to check on her brother in his room, which is to say, the kitchen. She realized she needed to thank Shinpei for accepting Chaco into the house. She really was overflowing with happiness. Not just for Chaco, but also for Seiwa. Akane felt genuinely grateful for her brother. Shinpei goes red. His sister, so wild and feisty most of the time, was showing this rare sweet side. Then Akane makes a promise. The three of them would go to the park on Sunday. A picnic. Shinpei turns away, so he does not show his feelings so plainly to his sister, but he agrees to the outing. Akane is thrilled for the big day, and off to bed she goes. Shinpei smiles too. Looks like he is excited for this picnic as well, while his sister sleeps with all the peace in the world. And the big day arrives with the excitement still running high at the Amamiya residence. Akane is putting the finishing touches on 3 bento boxes, and she looks very pleased with the result. Shinpei is still getting ready to head out, but he decides to take a quick look at today's newspaper. And there it is. Nanako's competition is in the news. What she conveniently never mentioned that day was that she was the favorite to win. This only deepens Shinpei's admiration for her, but Akane has finally finished the food and is ready to go. And so the 3 Amamiyas head off to the park on a single bicycle. Shinpei pedaling, Akane on the back, and Chako up front. He even asks why all 3 of them are crammed onto one bike, and Akane explains they could only rent the one. Chako sees no problem with this whatsoever. But something stops Shinpei mid-pedal. Nanako is there, kneeling beside a man in the middle of the road. The 2 of them stop their journey to make sure their new friend is all right. It seems her driver is having chest pains, which would normally be alarming. Except everyone here is more worried about Nanako's competition. The driver insists she should not worry and just head to the venue. But it was far, and Nanako clearly did not know how to drive. So Akane cooks up a solution. Shinpei would take over as driver and get Nanako to her competition. Shinpei is stunned by the proposal. Chako thinks it is a great idea. As if Akane were the boss of everyone present, she grabs Nanako by the arm, loads her into the car, and orders her brother to get on with the plan. He is amazed to find himself behind the wheel of a luxury car, and so the car takes off, leaving Akane, Chako, and the heart attack driver behind. In the car, Nanako apologizes for all of this and asks whether they did not have other plans of their own. But Shinpei reassures her. The important thing was helping someone in trouble. So he calms her down and tells her to give it her absolute best at the competition. Words that quietly scored a few affection points with the young princess. And she thanks them both for their help as they speed off toward the venue. Let us pop over to the park where that family picnic was promised. Chako receives her portion of the sandwich. Akane asks the puppy if it tastes good. And so the 2 remaining Amamiyas carry on with the picnic plan. Just the 2 of them, without their brother. He has a mission to complete right now. But things were not so peaceful on the road. The traffic was piling up ahead, and Shinpei starts to worry about the clock. Nanako mentions the competition starts in 30 minutes, which sends Shinpei into a quiet panic. At this rate, there was almost no way they would make it in time. But then Shinpei spots the shop owner nearby coming back from a delivery, and he is riding a bicycle. It seems creativity in a crisis runs in the Amamiya blood. Shinpei dreams up a plan on the spot and jumps out of the car. The idea is to borrow the bike and finish the trip on pedal power. He begs the man to lend it to him for the next 2 hours. The old man says that if it is for the good of the story, he would not mind lending his bicycle to a total stranger. Shinpei is thrilled to realize there might just be a way out of this mess after all. Climbing onto the bike, Shinpei tells Nanako to hop on too. She is taken aback by how he is solving this problem, but she goes along with it. She hesitates a little. After all, being the princess that she has probably never ridden a bicycle with another person in her life. But Shinpei looked like he had this fully under control. So, in a slightly clumsy way, she clings to Shinpei's body, terrified of taking a tumble along the way. He tells the girl to hold on tight. She, however, starts having second thoughts about whether this is really such a good idea and asks to get off. But Shinpei reassures her. This was the only way to make it on time, and he takes off before Nanako can change her mind for good. And so the 2 of them launch forward at full speed. Nanako still a little uneasy, Shinpei fully pumped. He explains that they cannot let all her hard work go to waste just because they would show up late. This was simply what had to be done, and they were going to make it. Nanako is struck by how determined this boy is to help her in every way he possibly can. And she starts to blush a little in that situation. And she says yes, as the 2 ride on, this time without any further trouble. While Nanako competes in her contest, since this manga is not about music but about a brother and sister, let us swing by the 9 souls to see how the other sisters are doing. The older sister looks pretty irritated. Very irritated, actually. The younger one seems more at ease. She is getting a little glass of milk from a caring hand, and that hand belonged to none other than our beloved Mio. It is always Mio who has to babysit those troublesome siblings. She asks why Akane is sulking, but Akane challenges the very premise. Sulking? Who is sulking? A wild hippie spots the 2 girls and takes an interest in Akane. He wants to shoot his shot and asks Mio to introduce him, but Mio shuts the flirting down cold. She says she is looking after Akane for her friend, so no flirting allowed. Akane complains, saying she hates the idea of being protected like she is Shinpei's property. Mio fires back, saying that was never her intention, but she adds that maybe that is just how Akane sees herself. Akane is thrown off by the comment, and she is ready to push back with everything she has. But Mio is smart and has no interest in escalating things, so she changes the subject. She decides to talk about Nanako instead. Tetsu, who was hanging around, decides to join the conversation and mentions he has already heard of Nanako. She was the daughter of the owner of a major hospital. Mio mentions that Shinpei was out driving for Nanako that very night. Tetsu is astonished to hear that his friend was getting so close to a girl of that caliber. Mio then points out that this was exactly why Akane was in such a foul mood tonight, but now it was Akane's turn to shout. Mio really knows how to push people's buttons. Akane gets tired of talking to Mio and decides to go dance alone in the club, leaving the two friends behind. Mio feels a little guilty for pushing so hard, but maybe one of the reasons Akane stormed off is that Mio was right. Akane knew she was being touchy, and she was ashamed of her own emotions, embarrassed by them. Leaving the 9 souls behind, let us check in on Shinpei and Nanako. Nanako had won the competition, and now it was time to celebrate. The girl invites Shinpei to come along to the celebration, but he turns it down. He did not consider himself a friend of hers, just the driver for the night, Nanako insists. She says she only won because of his help, so he should come. What Nanako does not know is that Shinpei has only ever had terrible experiences at night parties. He is worried, with a bad feeling brewing, and maybe his instincts are right. The host opens the party. He starts by saluting Nanako on her victory. He explains that she was the star of the university, so everyone there was a classmate of hers. The young crowd is electric as they shout cheers. Shinpei follows along, but more timidly. Nanako shows just how social and beloved she is among her peers, since everyone wants to talk to her. Unlike Shinpei, who is alone and silent in a corner, he feels like a fish out of water. This place was not made for him. Nanako notices and she worries. So she brings him a few sandwiches, trying to give the boy some attention. After all, he was only here because of her. But Shinpei tries to reassure her. He was fine. But a voice calls out to the girl. The mood begins to shift. 2 young men, maybe people interested in her, because their attention goes straight to Shinpei. They ask if he is her boyfriend. She corrects them, saying they are just friends. Shinpei cannot get a single word out. The boys keep pressing. They ask which university he goes to, what instrument he plays. Drenched in sweat, Shinpei manages a few sheepish denials. Seeing that her guest is not handling this well, she steps in and says it for him. Shinpei does not study. He already works. A malicious smile spreads across the faces of these young men. The mood has officially curdled. A classmate arrives and announces that Nanako has been called over to speak with the professor, so she has to leave Shinpei behind to go hear what he has to say. Now that Shinpei is alone, he is exposed to the cruel little remarks of those two. They insinuate that he is only there because he needs money, working a side gig as a driver. Finally, they drop the pretense entirely. Nanako is a high society lady, an unreachable flower that trash like you cannot even get near. With that hostility, the young men finish by telling Shinpei he does not belong here, and that he needs to get lost. Shinpei goes quiet under the weight of so much hostility. He really has no luck with night parties. Nanako was just wrapping up her conversation with the professor when something catches her eye. She notices that Shinpei is slipping out of the party, beaten down, sad. She asks where he is going. He says he will be waiting for her in the car, but tells her to enjoy the night without any worries. Nanako is a good girl, but it seems she had the wrong idea about the real world. If she was upset that Shinpei was abandoning the party, her friends were celebrating that he had left. Finally, he got the message. One of them said, "That boy was talking as if it had been his own doing." Nanako demands an explanation, and she hears the whole story, and she does not like what she hears. She argues that Shinpei never once asked to come along with her. On the contrary, she was the one who forced him to be her driver that night. Nanako lays out exactly how she sees Shinpei. He is a hardworking young man who does everything to support his family. She keeps the moral lesson going. We, who are nothing but students, should be ashamed to look down on someone just because they do not have a diploma. Finally, she decides to walk out of the party herself, and she leaves the place, like a girl going to find her friends. She reaches the car and taps on the window. Shinpei was there, waiting. Nanako had a beautiful smile on her face. Shinpei is surprised she came out so early and asks if the party is already over. Nanako says yes and asks to head home, and so the two of them set off toward the girl's house. Something is gnawing at Shinpei, so he asks, "You actually walked out in the middle of the party, did you not?" Nanako answers with a question of her own. "Shinpei, would you not celebrate my victory with me?" That question catches the boy off guard. Then Nanako says what she wants. She wants to see the sea. Still not quite understanding, Shinpei just drives. And so the two of them arrive at the shore. And truly, at night, that place was beautiful. But Shinpei was admiring a different kind of beauty, beyond the sea. He could not take his eyes off the lovely Nanako. But Nanako has a brief moment of dizziness, and she ends up stumbling. Luckily, Shinpei was right there to catch her. He is genuinely caught off guard by the situation. Nanako's eyes carry a hint of worry. Shinpei asks if everything is all right. Nanako apologizes and says she had a little too much to drink that night. Maybe it is also the alcohol making Nanako want to see Shinpei's hand, and she asks to. Shinpei says his hand is covered in calluses and cuts because of the work, but the girl is amazed by his hand. She remarks on how much bigger it is compared to hers. Gently holding it, she comments that this is a hand that protects his family and even strangers like her. Then she mentions that Shinpei's hand smells like oil, letting out soft little laughs. Shinpei is deeply embarrassed by her words. Nothing more is said. The two of them simply admire the lit-up sea of Tokyo at night. Finally, after a long day, Shinpei returns home, very late into the night. Akane was reading a magazine and notices her brother's return with total disinterest. Shinpei goes to talk to his sister. He apologizes for getting back so late. She does not seem bothered by it. He says he bought some ice cream and asks if Akane wants one. She is curt and turns down the offer. Shinpei also apologizes for the picnic that was promised but never happened. He mentions that Nanako won the competition and sent her regards to Akane, but his sister grows less and less interested in hearing him out. He says he is going to the public bath and asks if she has already gone. Akane does not even bother to answer. Sensing his sister's hostility, Shinpei concludes by saying he is heading out then. He is confused about why his sister is this angry. He figures she might be upset that the picnic got canceled, but she was the main reason it fell apart in the first place, so he cannot quite make sense of what is going on. Then a bark grabs his attention. Chako was there, ready to keep him company. Shinpei glances over. It was not just Chako standing there. The other Amamiya sister was there too. Still a little annoyed, but ready for the bath. Shinpei feels a bit relieved to see his sister coming with him to the public bath. Maybe peace has been restored already? But Akane asks a sly question. She asks if her brother had a good time today. Shinpei goes a little red, but he does not deny it. He confirms. But that answer hits Akane harder than she could hide. Desperately trying to mask her concern, Akane puts on her teasing mask and asks whether her brother might be falling for Nanako. Shinpei denies it, saying Nanako is a high society woman, and he is just a mechanic's assistant. Akane wished Shinpei would brush off the tease entirely, but she was not satisfied with that answer. Shinpei quickens his pace to keep Akane from pushing on the subject. But Akane had caught what Shinpei was really saying between the lines. He denied liking Nanako because of the gap in social status. But Akane understood that his answer could have been completely different if that social barrier did not exist. Shinpei tells Akane to hurry up or the bathhouse might close. She agrees and picks up the pace. Without another word, Akane follows her brother, still confused about her own feelings, whether it is about her brother himself or about the possibility of watching Shinpei fall in love with another woman. And maybe Akane had better sort this situation out soon, because from here on it looks like Nanako is going to be a much more constant presence in the lives of the Amamiyas.